A Beaufort County judge resigns after allegations of sexual harassment. The city of Beaufort gets a grant from the Environmental and Protection Agency, Water Festival wrap-up, and much, much more. Keep watching, Beaufort. Your news starts now. Thanks for joining us for the Beaufort News. I'm Jessa Jeremiah, and here is your local headline news. Beaufort is one of just 17 communities nationwide to earn an Environmental Protection Agency grant that will help reduce flooding and drainage problems in the city's historic northwest quadrant. The EPA announced that it is providing $950,000 to several communities for green solutions to stormwater problems. The grant is to help protect and restore water quality while advancing other community goals. City Manager Scott Dadson commented that the solutions will probably also apply to other flood-prone areas of Beaufort. The grant is valued at $50,000. The superintendent of Beaufort County School District, Valerie Truesdale, recently announced that she plans to retire after 5 years in her position. Dr. Truesdale has been an educator for 30 years, including a position as a senior executive at the South Carolina Department of Education. She was named South Carolina's Superintendent of the Year in 2009, and she was the recipient of the American Association of School Administrators' First Women in School Leadership Award in 2010. She believes this is a good time to retire as the district is trending towards success. Probate Judge Frank Simon of Beaufort County resigns after several allegations of sexual harassment. 3 sexual harassment complaints were filed by employees of the Beaufort County Probate Court between May 18th and May 22nd. One of the women also filed a report with the United States Equal Opportunity Commission. Simon, who served as Beaufort County's probate judge for almost 18 years, left his office on July 1st with 2 years left of his term. Computers seized in a local gambling operation will be donated to students at the Seabrook location of AMI Kids. AMI Kids is a nonprofit organization dedicated to their partnership with numerous local communities to help troubled juveniles develop into responsible and productive citizens. The Sheriff's Office was awarded the 5 desktop computers under state statutes, and they have high hopes that this donation will help AMI Kids on their mission to assist kids in need. The Beaufort County Library will be hosting a short film festival called Women's Voices from the Muslim World. This is part of the One County Reads One Country project. The films will be shown at the USCB Center for the Arts on Sunday, April 12th at 2 p.m. The films are part of a project by an organization called Women's Voices Now, a nonprofit group led by a team of professionals in various fields. The project's objective is to record and share the stories of women living in Muslim countries. The program is free and includes a panel discussion by university scholars. For more information, visit BeaufortCountyLibrary.org/OCROC. Andy and Casey Ellis of Beaufort have already adopted 1 child from Ethiopia and are in search of some additional funds to help bring home 3 more Ethiopian siblings. 7-year-old Samuel and his 4-year-old brother John set up a lemonade stand on Saturday, July 21st at Beaufort's Praise Assembly of God Church to help with the fundraising efforts. The church is also trying to help through their ministry called Praise Adopts, which gives support to families in the church who are adopting children.
We're so honored to bring our new brother and sister home.
And where are your new brothers and sisters right now?
Ethiopia.
Are you helping too, Johnny?
Well, we adopted Sam 2 years ago from Ethiopia, and we have just currently adopted a sibling set of 3 from Ethiopia, and we're waiting on their passports to be issued and raising the final little bit of funds to bring them home.
If you want to help, you can contact Praise Assembly at Beaufort at 843-525-1121. Last weekend, the Beaufort YMCA Tiger Sharks took a 3rd place ranking in their swim competition. The Tiger Sharks were up against 13 other teams from all over the state to compete in the South Carolina YMCA Swimming State Championship. The Tiger Sharks are part of the Beaufort YMCA's aquatic club, which is comprised of members ages 5 to 21. In addition to a successful team ranking, the Tiger Sharks had many individual accomplishments. And here's what's happening around the state. Richland 2 is among the school districts in South Carolina that will be losing aid that they have been accustomed to receiving. Extra money long given to these larger school districts was shifted to other uses, such as a tax cut for small businesses and expansion of the port in Charleston. The loss means putting ideas on hold, such as restoring foreign language education in elementary schools. Richland 2 lost $1.2 million when the General Assembly eliminated this longtime source of money. A recent report received by Congress from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has drawn additional attention to the nation's coast and inland port needs. U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham says that the nation is finally starting to move towards a common vision surrounding its ports. One reason is that in the near future, ports will have to handle a generation of even larger container ships that will soon dominate world trade. These projects that are affecting the local communities both in Charleston and in Savannah and include deepening the shipping channels in these areas. An internship program, which is a partnership between the Charleston School of Law and the University of South Carolina School of Law, will help prepare students for future time in court by actually allowing them to go to court. The internship will be open to rising third-year law students who want to become prosecutors. The program offers a twist on the typical office internship by allowing students at the law schools to be paired with a prosecutor at the solicitor's office. With their assigned prosecutor, the students will meet with law enforcement officers and victims as they help prepare cases for trial. If you'd like more information on these headlines, please reference the media sources you see listed on your screen. Also, you can like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. Coming up, we have your hot off the press report as Buck Boone from the Island News joins us when we return. Welcome back to the Beaufort News. Mr. Buck Boone is here to give us the latest reports from the Island News. Thanks for joining us, Buck.
Jessa, I'm glad to be here.
So Buck, as the Water Festival has wrapped up, what's the final word from the festival? And what we're all wondering is who was chosen as the 2013 Commodore?
Well, the 2012 Water Festival crew and family would like to thank all the sponsors, volunteers, and civic organizations for all their time and dedication that helped make the 57th Annual Water Festival a huge success. And they're proud to announce that next year's Water Festival Commodore will be Dan Thompson, who is a reserve officer with the Beaufort Police Department.
Okay, well, good to know. We're looking forward to next year already. Now, let's talk about the Dan Durbin sled investigation. I understand a ruling was made. What did the solicitor's office determine about the criminal charges concerning the former principal?
Well, the 14th Judicial Circuit Solicitor Duffy Stone ruled that based on the investigation from the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, there was insufficient evidence to support any criminal charges against Dr. Durbin for changing grades for students at Beaufort High School.
Okay, well, let's move on to some updates from the City of Beaufort. What was the city's ruling on stormwater utility fees?
The Beaufort City Council voted unanimously Tuesday night to raise the stormwater utility fees from $65 to $105 per year. Mayor Keisling said the fee hike for taxpayers was necessary to keep up with stormwater costs without skimming funds from the general fund and taking money from other budgeted programs.
Okay, well, that's quite an increase, but I guess we got to do what's necessary. So we also want to know about election deadlines. If residents are interested in running as elected officials, what kind of deadlines are they up against? Well,
candidates interested in running for mayor or for the 2 seats on Beaufort City Council that are currently occupied by Mike McPhee and George O'Kelly have between today and August the 15th to file for the election.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Buck, for your report. We greatly appreciate it.
Good to see you, Jessa. Thank you.
Thank you. Now let's hear from Robb Wells. Robb was with the Beaufort Regional Chamber's Tourism Division. Welcome, Robb.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So here we are in the heart of summer travel season here in Beaufort, and since you have the inside scoop, tell us how the 2000 travel season is shaping up for us.
Yeah, we have seen some, starting in May, we started to see some occupancy numbers coming in, and we're very excited about some of the things we're seeing. Here in our area, we've seen just right around, a 6% increase, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but we are a spring and fall market, so any increase in the summer is always great. And speaking with some of our properties locally, I spoke with the director of sales, Phil Caraway, with the Holiday Inn here in Beaufort, and he mentioned that they had a strong May, and followed that up with a strong June as well, heading into a July, and that's a good promising note. I mean, I think they're up around 12%, which is higher than the area. And it's a good sign. And speaking with our friends over at Fripp Island Resort, they indicated that during July 4th week, they were at 100% occupancy, which is a strong number. And Harbor Island also reported around a 90% occupancy during that same week in July. So, summer travel is not something we format a lot, but it is something that we take notice of, and we've seen strong numbers so far.
And what events or outside factors would you say impact those numbers from year to year?
They generalize for, of course, the broader spectrum, the economy, the economical factors, gas prices, what type of disposable income is available for people looking to vacation. For us locally, that could be the size of the graduation at military graduation. That could be what type of events are taking place during the summer, whether it be the Gullah Festival at Memorial Day weekend, or we're just wrapped up Water Festival, which had a drove of people in town.
Now let's switch gears a little bit so you can tell me about South Carolina's most visited park, Hunting Island. What we want to know is how many visitors does the park have in a given year?
And speaking with the folks out there, they average around 1 million visitors per year, which is an astounding number. But during the summertime travel, they're receiving just about half of all their visitors come during the summertime.
Wow, okay. So what do you think so many people visit, and what are the features that draw people to the park?
Yeah, look, Hunting Island is one of my favorite places, and I think whether it be I think it's the only lighthouse in South Carolina that you can climb from the bottom to the top, and what a beautiful bird's eye view of the ocean from there. The natural landscape, the nature center, the fishing pier, the beaches themselves. It is a type of experience that people find unique and want to experience more of, and that's why they keep coming back to Hunting Island.
And do you have a personal recommendation?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, I do. My family and I go out there very much, and I have 2 little girls, and they love to play in the sand and the tidal pools at low tide. And at high tide, they love to see the pelican swoop down and fish a little bit. They like to fish with Dad from the surf, but we also like to grill out there at the north end of the park. So it's a lot of fun, and my recommendation is take your family, go out, and have a great time.
All right, well, we'll do just that. Robb Wells, thanks so much.
Thank you.
And coming up, we'll get answers about new zoning codes for the city of Beaufort, and we'll report on news in Beaufort's education. Keep watching for more Beaufort news. Welcome back to the Beaufort News. I am so pleased to welcome Miss Amy Painton to report on some local education news. Welcome, Amy.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
So I understand that Beaufort's newest public school of choice is Bridges Preparatory School. Tell us a little bit about this school, if you would.
I sure will. We are so excited. The Bridges Preparatory Charter School was approved and certified as of July 12th, just a couple of weeks ago. And for those of you that do not know what a charter school is simply a public school, which means that it's open to any child in Beaufort County and beyond. And the reason I say beyond is because we are a state-sponsored charter school, which means we do not have boundaries as far as county lines go. And Bridges Preparatory School, or as we say BPS, is going to start off with grades K through 6 in the year 2013-2014. So we eventually will go all the way up through 12th grade. So our ultimate goal again is to be K through 12, and it is a public school, which means it's free, no tuition, and all you have to do is apply, and our applications will be available in mid-August for those students interested in attending BPS.
And can you expand a little bit on the educational program at Bridges Prep? Specifically, we want to know what is PADIA and what is STEM?
Well, a lot of people, when we did public outreach meetings, that is how we derived our educational plan. we decided to go out into the public and find out what parents are looking for in a public school. So we based our educational program on those needs, and we found that parents wanted whole child or student-centered education, and also wanted an emphasis on science, technology, engineering, and math. So we put our thinking caps on and did a lot of research and a lot of talking with fellow educators, and found a program called the National PADEA Organization. And what PADEA is, in essence, is a staff training or staff development that all of our teachers will go through for 3 years. It's rather extensive, and PADEA is known for whole child education, which means we don't just go in and learn about, educating our brain or the cognitive side of life. We also learn about other things like physical, social, and social values and educational standpoints that we will teach in the classroom. And the PADEA model that we're using will teach our staff or the teachers how to become whole child teachers, so that every child gets what they need. And as for STEM, again, that's science, engineering, technology, and math. We will be emphasizing wonderful, wonderful programs and bringing, whether it's physics or, engineering or, what have you, to the forefront using various models in the classroom, and also will be carried throughout our day, even in our our physical education program. We'll be utilizing a company called GenMove USA, which will bring physics to soccer, and the children will not even realize, hopefully, that they're studying physics as they're doing soccer.
All right, great information, Amy. Thanks so much, and particularly great for those with school-age children. So we look forward to seeing more about that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Now we'll get some answers about some new zoning codes for the city of Beaufort. We have Beth Grace from Old Point Association to give us some answers. Welcome, Beth.
Thank you so much, Jessa. Glad to be here.
Well, first we want to know about the City of Beaufort's form-based code ordinance. What's the ordinance and how does it affect the citizens of Beaufort?
Well, the form-based code is going to replace our present zoning system. So right now we have the Euclidean system, which is based on regulating the use of each property. It does have setbacks and things like that, but the form-based code would dictate the mass, the scale, and the overall design of each building in the city of Beaufort. So it's a big change from the present zoning process.
And what are some of the concerns that the Point Association and even the Historic District might have?
Well, the Historic District, which includes 4 neighborhoods, is concerned about the Landmark District. And that's a national treasure and one which is very important to our tourism. We want to make sure that we keep the historic guidelines that make the Landmark District what it is, and we want to keep the creativity and the flexibility. In the present system, it is more cumbersome, but it allows for creativity and flexibility in design, but it also gauges each building within the context of the streetscape itself. So each home is evaluated by the Historic District Review Board, and then it gets its context and scale from that process.
Okay, and what is your solution, or what would you like to see happen?
Well, the Historic District has proposed to City Council that they expand the advisory committee, which is going to review the 400-page document and make it the Beaufort style. And we'd like to have more residents serve on that committee. Right now, it's a lot of technical people. It's builders, developers, and business people who do work in the city. We want more residents so that each neighborhood, not just the Historic District, but Mossy Oaks, Hermitage Road, West End, every neighborhood has representatives who can come together, even as a subcommittee, and help the city devise this final code ordinance into something that's livable for all the residents. In the city of Beaufort, the state, in fact, has only 3 national landmark districts, and Beaufort has 2 of the state's 3. One is Penn Center, and the other is the Landmark District in downtown Beaufort. It's a national treasure, and it's one which we believe needs to keep the Historic District Review Board process and needs to keep creativity and flexibility in the inherent design for each home.
All right, Beth. Well, some great information for Beaufort residents. We appreciate it, and a great way to get residents involved in the process, too. So thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, Beaufort, if you want to get out and enjoy some local culture this week, stay tuned because we have Mark Shaffer from Low Country Weekly to give your local entertainment report when we return. Welcome back to the Beaufort News. If you're looking for your local entertainment report, look no further as we have Mr. Mark Shaffer from Low Country Weekly to tell us what we have to look forward to. Welcome, Mark.
Hi, Jessa.
So, Mark, as the indie film series continues at USCB, what can we expect to see coming up?
Well, we're in the dog days now, that post-water festival lull when there's not much to do outside but sweat. Luckily, there's the film series. It's all air-conditioned. And on Monday, July 30th, you can see 2 indie films. At 2 p.m., it's Small, Beautifully Moving Parts. It's a film about a newly expectant mother who goes in search of her own mother. It looks pretty interesting. And at 6:30 in the evening, it's Peace, Love, and Misunderstanding. It's directed by Bruce Beresford, who did Driving Miss Daisy, among many, many others. And it's a rare starring role these days for Jane Fonda and the always excellent Catherine Keener. Looks like one you don't want to miss.
All right, and if you haven't seen it yet, I understand now is the time to catch images of the Low Country in the gallery at USCB. What can you tell us about this exhibit?
Well, we build this exhibit as 20 artists, one great show, and basically what you've got here is an exhibit curated by accomplished local artist Joan Templer. Now, what she did was invite 20 of her colleagues, all of them very, very accomplished, to give them an original Low Country image to put up. Now, the show opened in May. It's going to close at the end of the month, so the clock is ticking, and I'd go see it if you haven't seen it yet.
All right, and storyteller, Cora Newcomb is coming to Artworks on Saturday, July 28th. Tell us about this event.
Well, she sounds like something else. She's the president of the South Carolina Storytelling Network. She's told tales at the National Storytelling Conference and festivals all over the Southeast, and she will be at Artworks starting at 7:30.
Great. And what can the audience expect?
Well, she tells stories to entertain, educate, and pass along cultural heritage. And of course, she also does a little inspirational storytelling, some ghost stories, naturally, and historical tales. Plus, she has a personal memoir that she relates to the audience. Sounds like a lot of fun. There'll be something for everyone. It's family-style entertainment. And once again, that is Saturday at Artworks at 7:30. And as always, you can pick up a copy of Low Country Weekly all over the Low Country for more information, or go online at lcweekly.com. And that is what's out and about. Jessa?
All right, Mark. Well, thanks again for another great entertainment report.
Thank you.
Beaufort, we have a lot to look forward to this week. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jessa Jeremiah. Join us next time for your Beaufort News.